Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Newsbrowse News broadcast. Minutes from the Bank of Japan's latest board meeting have been released, revealing that concerns regarding rising prices were the primary driver behind the decision to increase the key interest rate from 0.75% to 1% on June 16th. This move marked the highest rate observed in 31 years. According to NHK, some board members argued that the bank should consider further interest rate hikes at an early date. One member suggested that the neutral rate appears to be around 2% and recommended raising the rate every few months to reach that target. Policymakers noted that rising crude oil prices, fueled by tensions in the Middle East, remain a significant risk. Furthermore, there is concern that these price pressures could spread beyond petroleum products. Additionally, members observed that robust global demand for AI-related technology is fueling economic activity and driving prices upward more than previously anticipated. The bank remains focused on managing these inflationary pressures as it evaluates its future monetary policy path. According to a report by Feng Wan, the independent online music platform Jamendo has filed a lawsuit against tech giant NVIDIA in a federal court in California. The lawsuit accuses NVIDIA of copyright infringement and breach of contract for unauthorized use of tens of thousands of music tracks to train its artificial intelligence models, specifically Fugato and Audio Flamingo. Jamendo states that NVIDIA utilized the MTG Jamendo dataset, which contains approximately 56,000 tracks co-developed with the Pompey Fabra University. Although this dataset is publicly available, its terms strictly limit use to non-commercial academic research. Any commercial application requires explicit written permission from Jamendo. The plaintiff claims that NVIDIA's technical papers openly cite the dataset as part of their training material. After failed negotiations between March 2024 and June 2025, Jamendo issued an invoice charging €289 per track, totaling €16.1 million for a global commercial license. Because NVIDIA refused to pay and continued to profit from the data, Jamendo is now seeking at least €17.8 million in damages, which includes interest. According to Zhigang Press, preliminary services producer price data released by the Bank of Japan on Wednesday revealed that ocean freight transportation fees in Japan soared to a record high for the third consecutive month in May. The index for the ocean freight sector surged by 61.8% year-on-year to reach 241.3 against the 2020 base of 100. The dramatic increase was largely driven by a sharp rise in tanker fees, which rocketed due to escalating fuel prices caused by ongoing Middle East tensions. On a broader scale, the overall services producer price index, which measures changes in the prices of services traded between corporations, climbed 3.3% to 114.7. Out of the 146 service items tracked in the central bank's monthly dataset, a significant majority of 117 items registered price increases, while only 11 items posted declines, reflecting widespread upward pressure on service sector costs. According to a report by the Liberty Times, China's anti-corruption watchdog, the Central Commission for Discipline Inspection, CCDI, announced on the 24th that Bian Zhigang, the Deputy Director of the State Administration for Science, Technology, and Industry for National Defense, SASTIND, is under investigation. Bian is suspected of serious violations of discipline and law, though official channels have not yet released specific details about the case. Bian Zhigang has spent most of his career within SASTIND, previously serving as chief engineer before being promoted to deputy director and party group member in 2024. He also concurrently served as Deputy Director of the China National Space Administration. SASTIND is a key government agency responsible for overseeing China's defense technology industries, coordinating major research and production in nuclear technology, aerospace, aviation, shipbuilding, weaponry, and military electronics. The Liberty Times notes that this investigation is part of an ongoing anti-corruption campaign launched within China's military and military-industrial complex since 2023. The purge has heavily targeted the rocket force and equipment procurement systems, leading to the downfall of numerous high-ranking military and defense officials in recent years. According to a report by Lianhe Xiaobao, the United Nations Economic Commission for Latin America and the Caribbean, ECLAC, released a report on June 23 in Santiago, Chile, highlighting that frequent U.S. tariff adjustments and their use as bargaining tools have heightened global economic uncertainty. This situation has made foreign investors increasingly cautious about investing in Latin America and the Caribbean, leading to a significant drop in investments in certain key industries. Data shows that in 2025, foreign direct investment (FDI) in the region reached 194.233 billion US dollars, representing a mere 1.7% year-on-year growth. The automotive sector, which is highly sensitive to tariffs and heavily dependent on the US market, was hardest hit, experiencing a 61% decline in newly announced investments. Brazil and Mexico remained the top recipients of FDI in the region, accounting for approximately 40% and 22% of the total, respectively. ECLAC Executive Secretary Salazar Ziranox urged regional nations, especially those heavily reliant on U.S. exports, to diversify their export markets and FDI sources to mitigate these risks. That's all for this video. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.